Most investors take more risk over time without even realizing it. And it happens when you're doing everything right. If you've chosen your investment and started contributing, well done. But here's what most beginners don't know. Your portfolio doesn't stay balanced on its own. Markets move, equities rise, bonds fall, and slowly your risk level changes. In this lesson, I'm going to show you what rebalancing actually is and why it matters. Why it protects your long-term plan in a way most people underestimate, and exactly how to do it without overcomplicating anything. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to maintain control of your portfolio without trying to time the markets. And stay with me till the end, because I'm going to show you one mindset shift about rebalancing that changes how you think about market volatility forever. So, what is rebalancing? Let's start with an example. When you first set up your portfolio, you decided on a split that felt right for you. Let's say 80% equities and 20% bonds. Now, imagine equities have a stronger year. That is great news, right? Well, what this means is that without you doing anything, your portfolio looks like this: 90% equities and 10% bonds. And the fact is, you didn't choose that. The market did it for you. You are now carrying more risk than you originally decided was right for your situation. Most people never notice, and that's exactly the problem. Rebalancing is simply bringing your portfolio back to your original target allocation. You're not predicting the markets. You're not reacting emotionally. You're not chasing performance. You're staying aligned with the plan you made when you were choosing your investment. That is what investing discipline looks like in practice. Another question is, why is rebalancing more powerful than most people realize? And the answer is, rebalancing does three things that most beginner investors underestimate. Benefit number one, it protects your risk level. As you get closer to retirement or a major financial goal, your ability to absorb a big market drop gets smaller. Without rebalancing, your portfolio can become too aggressive without you ever making a single active decision. It just happens silently. Benefit number two, it forces you to sell high and buy lower. When equities rise sharply, rebalancing means trimming some of those gains. When equities fall, rebalancing means adding at lower prices. You're not trying to be clever. You're not timing the market. You're just following the system, and the system does the work. Benefit number three, it removes emotion from the equation. Markets will rise, markets will fall. That's a certainty. Rebalancing turns volatility into a process instead of a panic. And that mental shift is worth more than almost any individual investment decision you will ever make. If you're still with me, drop an emoji in the comments if you've actually looked at your portfolio allocation this year. Let's see who's on top of this. So, how often should you rebalance? There are three common approaches, and understanding all three means you can pick what actually fits your life. Option one, once a year. This is simple, low stress, very popular. Pick a date, maybe aligned with your annual review, and then rebalance. That's it. Option two, fixed schedule. Every 6 or 12 months, regardless of what the market is doing. You don't react to noise, you just follow the calendar. Option number three, threshold method. You only rebalance if an asset drifts more than 5% from your target allocation. This is slightly more hands-on, but it means you only act when it actually matters. For most beginners, once a year is more than enough. Simple beats complicated every single time. So, how do you actually rebalance? There are two ways to do this, and you might use both at different stages of your investing journey. Method number 1, use new contributions. If equities are overweight, direct your monthly contribution into bonds until it evens out. This avoids selling anything. It's gradual, it's gentle, and it works brilliantly if you're still contributing each month. The second method is sell and buy. Trim a bit of what's grown too large. Use that to buy more of what is smaller. If you're doing this inside a stocks and shares ISA, there's no capital gains tax on what you sell, which makes it more straightforward than most people assume. As always, this is financial education, not personalized financial advice. Always consider your own circumstances or speak to a qualified advisor before making investment decisions. There's no perfect way to rebalance. What matters isn't precision, it's consistency. Actually, before I get to the mindset shift I promised you at the start, if this is making sense and you're getting value from this video, do me one favor, hit that like button. It tells YouTube to show this to more people who need it. It takes 2 seconds and it makes a big difference. Remember I said stay until the end? This is it. I want to ask you something I ask every single one of my coaching clients when we first sit down together. When the market falls, and it will fall, that's not a prediction, that's just history. What should you do? Should you sell? Should you buy more? Should you do nothing? Here's what I tell them. The one answer that's almost never right is selling. Think about it this way. Imagine it's Black Friday. Your favorite store has just dropped prices by 20%. Do you sell the stuff you already own at a loss? Or do you see it as an opportunity to get more value for your money? The market is the same. You've already done your research. You are already diversified. So when prices drop, you're not looking at a disaster. You're looking at a discount. If you have cash available, buying more at lower prices is one of the most powerful things you can do as a long-term investor. You're getting more units of the same high-quality fund at a lower price. And if you don't have extra cash right now, doing nothing is completely valid because your plan was never to time the market. Your plan was to stay invested for the long term, and that plan hasn't changed. The only move that locks in your losses is selling. So don't do that. Remember, the investors who build long-term wealth aren't the ones who make the most clever decisions. They're the ones who stay disciplined when it's boring. So to bring it all together, rebalancing keeps your portfolio aligned with the risk level you originally chose. It naturally encourages buying lower and trimming high without timing anything. Once a year is enough. Method 1 or 2 both work. Pick the one that fits your lifestyle. Think of rebalancing like an annual maintenance of your financial plan. Not glamorous, not complicated, but essential. And here's the thing about building wealth that nobody really tells you when you start. Investing is a bit like watching grass grow. Nobody actually sees it growing. You don't sit there staring at it day by day, watching every millimeter. You just go about your life, and one day you look out and think, when did that get so tall? That's exactly how long-term investing works. Your monthly contribution, your automatic reinvestment, your annual rebalance, none of it feels dramatic in the moment. None of it is exciting, but compounded over years, those tiny, boring, consistent habits are what actually build real wealth. Not the big, clever calls, not the perfect timing, the grass. You now understand something that most people who invest never bother to learn. That's not a small thing. In the next lesson, we'll talk about annual portfolio review, exactly what to check, what to adjust, and how to know when your plan needs a bigger rethink. Because the hardest part of investing isn't getting started, it's staying the course. Now, if you've watched this and you're thinking, I understand rebalancing in theory, but I'm not sure how it applies to my specific portfolio and situation. That's exactly what my free coaching sessions are for. I offer free one-to-one and group coaching calls where we walk through your specific circumstances, your goals, your current allocations, your questions. No jargon, no pressure, just clarity on what actually makes sense for you. The link to book is in the description below. Before you go, 3 quick asks. Number 1, if this helped you, hit the like button. It tells YouTube to show this to more people who need it, and it takes just 2 seconds. Number 2, subscribe if you have not already. I post every Thursday at 7 p.m. with new investing lessons. Click here to subscribe. Number 3, check the description. I've linked the free coaching booking and all the previous lessons are there too. And if you have any questions at all, drop them in the comments. I read and reply to every single one. I'll see you in the next one.